Greetings, friends of the channel. Today, we dive into a topic that has caught the attention of many fans recently. We're talking about a player from the offensive line who has been under the microscope over the past weekend. This player's journey has been anything but ordinary, and it's important to note that he didn't participate in the previous season. There were high hopes that he would become the starting right guard, but out of nowhere, just before the season started, he decided to retire. This unexpected move left many questioning the future of the offensive line and created a fair amount of uncertainty. His story in the NFL began with a rather humble start. He came from a college where he wasn't exactly a standout player, and once he entered the league, his role mainly revolved around playing guard. His performance was fairly average at best, especially when it came to pressuring the quarterback, while his run blocking was acceptable but nothing to write home about. What truly caught people off guard, however, was the fact that his name started circulating again, especially considering his retirement. Despite having stepped away from the game, the team brought him in for a reevaluation. It was surprising, given how low-profile his return seemed, yet the franchise saw something in him worth taking a second look. Over the course of his NFL career, he spent most of his time playing as a guard, but there were moments where he had the opportunity to fill in as a tackle as well, including during his college years. This is a pivotal point because it raises the possibility that he could be used in various ways depending on the team's needs, especially now with the dynamics of the offensive line evolving. The situation around him becomes even more intriguing when you look at the current roster. The team has a number of players vying for the position of right guard, and with the 4 starting spots already locked in, this player could potentially step in and compete for the remaining spot. It's not an easy task, considering the team has other options available, including free agents and draft picks. The fact that this spot is still open leaves room for possibilities, and it's one of those things you can't ignore, especially given the competition. This could either lead to a fresh chance for this player to prove himself or an opportunity for someone else to come in and make a difference. Given the current structure of the team, the offensive line is a position that is constantly under scrutiny. Teams always look for ways to strengthen the line, whether by drafting new talent or by picking up experienced players in free agency. The right guard position in particular is one that can make or break the success of a team's offense. The player in question has shown some promise in past seasons, even if it's been mixed with inconsistency. The team's offensive line is built around the idea of stability, and if they can find a player who can contribute, whether as a starter or a reliable backup, it could provide a significant boost to their prospects moving forward. While there's no official confirmation yet about his role in the upcoming season, the reality is that the player still has a chance to make an impact, either by securing a spot on the starting lineup or by adding depth to the overall rotation. But it's crucial to realize that this player isn't the only option available. The team also has other potential candidates who could fill that role. There's still a possibility that the team might look elsewhere, whether through free agency or the draft, to address the gap at right guard. But as it stands, the player's potential to return to the lineup is something to watch closely. With the regular season looming and the draft approaching, teams are starting to take stock of their rosters and evaluate their needs. While the focus tends to shift to the high-profile positions, the offensive line is always a critical area that can't be overlooked. A solid offensive line can elevate an offense to new heights, while a shaky one can lead to a collapse of offensive efficiency. This player's return from retirement presents a unique storyline that could have a major impact, one way or another, on the team's future. It's not just about how he performs individually, but how his presence could affect the entire offensive line. If he can prove that he still has what it takes, he could be a valuable asset to the team. However, if his performance falls short, it might be the team's cue to look elsewhere for help. The reality of the situation is that this player could either add depth to the roster or find himself fighting for a role elsewhere. For now, the team's decision on the right guard position is still up in the air. With the draft approaching, there are a number of options to consider, whether that means sticking with the current roster or bringing in a fresh face to compete. The next few weeks will be crucial as teams finalize their rosters and make the necessary adjustments to ensure they have the best possible lineup heading into the new season. This player's situation remains one of the most intriguing storylines to follow during the off-season. His journey from retirement back to the field is one that not many saw coming, and how it unfolds will be something worth paying attention to. For now, all eyes are on the offensive line and the potential changes that could shape the team's future. As we continue to monitor the situation, there's no denying that this player has a lot to prove. His return from retirement could be the perfect opportunity for him to revive his career, but it's also a big gamble for the team. The team's offensive line is in need of stability, and if this player could be the answer to that need, he could be a game changer. But with the draft right around the corner, it's important to keep in mind that there are always other options to consider. Whether or not this player secures a spot on the roster remains to be seen, but it's certainly a storyline worth following closely. Now, let's shift our focus to another player who has been a part of the team's core in recent seasons. This defensive player was a regular starter during the last season, but has found himself in a different position heading into this year's draft. The team made the decision to part ways with him just before the draft, a move that left many fans and analysts curious about the rationale behind it. As the draft draws nearer, it seems like the perfect time to delve into the circumstances surrounding his departure and the potential ramifications for both the team and the player. This defensive player is perhaps best remembered for his struggles during the last preseason, where his performance was notably underwhelming. In particular, there was one game where an opposing player had a standout performance against him, which may have had a lasting impact on his confidence and his standing within the team. While he did manage to start for most of the season, his inconsistency became a noticeable issue. The defensive backfield has always been a high-pressure area, and players in his position face constant scrutiny. It is clear that this player's performance didn't meet the team's expectations, especially in critical moments, and that may have played a role in the decision to let him go. This question is further complicated by the fact that Jones' play in 2024 was far less impactful than in 2023. While his performance with the Raiders was decent, it didn't blow anyone away, and the subsequent concerns about his behavior off the field have only added to the uncertainty surrounding his future. Despite the fact that the team's secondary needs help, the question of whether Jones should be relied upon as part of the solution remains up in the air. If the team decides not to target a new cornerback in the draft, then Jones could be one of the options they have to seriously consider, along with other players like Cott Elam or Cale Carson. Evaluating whether these players could be viable starters will be a critical part of the team's strategy moving forward. Looking at the broader landscape of free agents, it seems that the market for veteran cornerbacks has been somewhat stagnant, and the team has yet to make significant moves in that regard. With the draft approaching, it might make more sense for the team to explore the draft for talent, rather than leaning on free agent options that might not provide the immediate impact they need. There is certainly a possibility that the team could find a player who can contribute right away, and in a draft that is expected to be deep in defensive talent, the cornerback position could be an area of focus. In addition to the cornerback situation, another name that has been swirling around recently is Breece Hall from the Jets. Speculation regarding Hall's future has picked up steam after remarks from a member of the Jets' coaching staff indicated that the team might be looking to move Hall, depending on how the draft unfolds. This has sparked a wave of discussions, especially considering that Hall is entering the final year of his contract. The Jets have a decision to make. Will they keep him as part of their running back rotation, or could they look to trade him if the right offer comes along? Hall is a dynamic player, and his potential departure from the Jets would create a lot of buzz in the NFL. While he's shown flashes of brilliance, there have been concerns about his overall consistency and his ability to maintain a high level of performance. The speculation around his future has also been fueled by the fact that the Jets are reportedly considering a running back rotation for the upcoming season. If they decide to reduce Hall's role or trade him, it could be the right time for another team to swoop in and make a move. The discussion around Hall's potential trade is also linked to the Jets' ongoing efforts to balance their roster. With Hall being eligible for a contract extension, it raises the question of whether the team can afford to keep him alongside their other young stars. The situation is further complicated by the fact that Hall has yet to live up to the expectations set for him during his rookie season. His rushing numbers have steadily declined, which has prompted the team to rethink its plans for the future. If the Jets do indeed look to trade Hall, the timing could work out well for teams in need of a running back. Teams like the Cowboys, who have been rumored to be in the market for a running back, could find Hall to be a viable option. However, the risk involved with acquiring Hall is that his production has been inconsistent. The question becomes whether the Cowboys or another team would be willing to take a chance on him, given his drop in performance and the contractual complexities involved. As the draft draws closer, the trade rumors surrounding Hall will continue to heat up. If the Jets opt to move on from him, it could open the door for a deal that benefits both sides. The Cowboys, for instance, might be able to acquire a proven talent like Hall at a reasonable price, especially if other teams aren't as interested. However, with the depth of talent in the upcoming draft, the Cowboys may decide to look elsewhere for their running back needs. This entire situation surrounding Hall, the Jets, and the Cowboys is one to watch closely as the draft approaches. If Hall is made available, it could shake up the running back market, and it might be the right opportunity for teams in need of a talented ball carrier. However, if he remains with the Jets, the team will need to find a way to maximize his potential while also managing the complexities of his contract. Either way, this is a situation that will be worth monitoring as we get closer to draft day. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. A viral video has lit up social media, showing Dallas Cowboys star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb making a cryptic and alarming claim. Will Grier is contaminating this locker room. The short clip, which lacks context but is filled with tension, has left fans and insiders scrambling for answers. What exactly did Lamb mean by contaminating? And why now, just months after Grier was promoted to the active roster? The comment, made during what appears to be a behind-the-scenes moment, has sparked a whirlwind of speculation. Some interpret it as frustration over team dynamics following a disappointing 7-10 season, while others wonder if deeper tensions are surfacing. Lamb, fresh off signing a massive $136 million extension last August, had a standout individual season, yet the team's failure to reach the playoffs may have magnified internal rifts. Grier, a journeyman quarterback with a modest NFL resume, joined the Cowboys practice squad in November and was elevated to the main roster at the start of January. His low-profile rise seemed uncontroversial until now. Could Lamb's words suggest that Grier's presence is disrupting chemistry or perhaps threatening roles within the locker room hierarchy? The Cowboys organization has remained silent so far, fueling even more intrigue. Neither Lamb nor Grier has made a follow-up statement, and no teammates have publicly defended or disputed the claim. With off-season workouts approaching, all eyes are on Dallas to see whether this controversy deepens or fades into the background. Whatever the truth behind Lamb's pointed accusation, one thing is certain: the drama in Dallas is far from over. And as the Cowboys look to rebound in 2025, the question isn't just about performance on the field, but about trust and unity behind closed doors. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.